Hello, everyone. Got my Idaho hat here with you today. This is Austin for Flashpoint Friday. This is a Facebook Live and a podcast. So the good news is if you're jumping in on this, there's going to be there's a podcast too. So if you don't like Facebook, you don't like hanging out on Facebook, watching long videos, I'm going to share the link for the podcast right here when it's done so you can listen in the car, on the go, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going. You can get me in your ear if you want. Some of you may not want, some of you want, but you're here, you're listening now. So let's grab some value today. Do you feel like you are in a state of force? Can you get yourself into a state of flow? Before we jump in, my name's Austin. If you're getting this for the first time, who am I? I am the creator and founder of Emergency Life Coach, as well as Flashpoint, the art and science of your big breakthrough. And the concept here is that there is a big breakthrough in your future if you weren't aware of it, and that this big breakthrough can be created. It has a recipe, if you will. What if you could create a breakthrough on demand? What if you knew what the recipe is? The master chef who makes the souffle or the cake not only knows the ingredients, knows the sequencing, knows how much to put in, knows all the different things to create this masterpiece. The same thing happens with a breakthrough, but we forget. We think that we have to do too much. We have to figure all this stuff out. We're so far away, and I want to say you're not. You're closer than you think, and through the right sequencing and through the right attitude and through the right people, you can create a breakthrough, especially during difficult times. My breakthrough came when I resigned from my 19-year job last year, July of 2019, July 3rd to be exact. I walked away after a 19-year corporate run to a place that I really enjoyed working. But there was more to do. There was more for me to do. I had done a lot of work, and this is before Flashpoint, but the work and the time and the energy and the effort that I poured in to create my own breakthrough, I didn't know it at the time, but that's really what was happening. So today I want to talk about getting into a state of flow, because I know before, and many times, I would feel that I was in a state of force. Have you ever felt like you're forcing yourself to do something and you feel that it's like an energy suck? It like drains you and you're tired at the end of the day. Have you ever felt this way? Let me know if you felt this way, where you're forcing yourself to get something done. And it's happening, and you're maybe looking at your to-do list and you're like, ugh, to-do list, or someone's calling you, or there's constant distractions, and you feel like you're forcing yourself to get things done. And at the end of the day, you're drained. You're not connected to source. You're not connected, and you just feel tired and run down. And then especially with all the stuff that's going on right now. So what I want you to do is step into this space, and I want to talk about, let's ease the burden of all this force. Let's see if we can create a state of flow toward your highest aspirations with a little bit of creativity and a little bit of action. Everything can change. And I want to tell you, it can change as quickly as you're willing to embrace it. And I know for myself, it was as quickly as I was willing to embrace it. It was a succession of changes that are still opening up, because purpose, and I'm going to go through three things today that will take away, three things that will affect you, make you feel like you're forcing things, three things. But let's talk about this. Flow versus force. Let's get into a state of flow here on Flashpoint Friday. Today, I am going to read from a book that I go to many times. I seek wisdom. Many of you see me on here live, but you don't know how much time and energy and effort I put on the back end to create things that I feel are going to move you. They're going to inspire you, because it's my heart. It's my heart, because my heart When I felt like I was forcing things, I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like I could never break through. I felt like everybody was up here and I was down here. I was living in a state of force. The work that I had to do to get over that is in my heart, and it pours out in the work that I do. It pours out in the Flashpoint. This is the start of your breakthrough. So let me just read this. This is a book that I lean on from time to time. It's not the Bible, but it's older than the Bible, and it's called the Tao Te Ching. And there's so much wisdom in here. So let me read this today, talking about flow versus force. So here we go. Do the non-ado. Strive for the effortless. Savor the savorless. Exalt the low. Multiply the few. Requite injury with kindness. Nip troubles in the bud. Sow the great in the small. Difficult things of the world can only be tackled when they are easy. Big things of the world can only be achieved by attending to their small beginnings. Thus, the sage never has to grapple with big things, yet he alone is capable of achieving them. He who promises lightly must be lacking in faith. He who thinks everything easy will end by finding everything difficult. Therefore, the sage who regards everything as difficult meets with no difficulties in the end. What the heck does that mean? What does that mean? It sounds like a big contradiction in and of itself when you read this text here. But I'm going to draw a couple things out of here today, and I'm going to share with you 3 things that can make you feel drained and take you out of flow. But I just want to point on this. Find the effortless. This is not saying don't work hard, but today the connotation of work hard is force. It's force. But the great achievers, they work hard, but they're in a state of flow. They're in a state of effortless. How do you know? You know when you're pouring so much out, but your energy still goes up, versus pouring so much out and your energy seems to drain and suck out of you. That's the difference. So can you find the effortless? Can you savor the savorless? And what I want to hit on here is that there's a really key psychological thing here that could make all the difference for you right now, whether you're live or playback. And that's this. He who promises lightly must be lacking in faith, right? It says that. So be convicted, have conviction in what you claim, be bold in your convictions, and you can do it. And here's the thing. It says, how can I feel that faith? How can I feel that faith? How can I be bold in my conviction when everything is difficult? How can that possibly be? So let's read it again. It says, he who promises lightly must be lacking in faith. He who thinks everything is easy will be finding everything difficult. But then it says, therefore, the sage who regards everything as difficult meets with no difficulties in the end. So here's the difference. The difference is when you proclaim your faith, whether it's your own internal belief in the universe, belief in your creator, that you can overcome obstacles that seem insurmountable. You acknowledge that they're difficult, but you are invigorated and excited because you know that you can carry through to the other side. And even in the wake of that, you can still find the effortless. There's a pocket, almost like as if you were walking in the center of the storm. That's a great metaphor. So the storm is difficult, right? Imagine a twister. It's difficult. It's hard, right? But you have faith that you can still progress. It's almost as if you're walking in the center of the storm where there's nothing happening. but you're still able to move. You know it's difficult, and you're still able to get to the other side of it. So find the effortless today. And that doesn't mean not work. It means work, but find the effortless. Find it. There's a pocket. There's a way. See, and I just want to share with you. Hey, James, honor to have you here, my brother. Mom, love you. Thanks for being here. This is Flashpoint Friday. We're dropping some wisdom today because a lot of people are forcing themselves. We can slip into a state of force. But what we want to do is we want to be in a state of peaceful power, poised, planned, and on purpose. And the way we can do that is we can acknowledge that things are difficult. But if our faith is strong and we have faith to have the conviction to be bold, we can override and overcome and create more purpose. Now, of course, I'm not covering everything here. There's work to be done. I've spent 20 years. My journey is over 20 years learning the simple, right? Because it says here, difficult things of the world can only be tackled when they are easy. Big things of the world can only be achieved by attending to their small beginnings. So here's a mistake that we make. I should say, here's the mistake that I made. You may make the same mistake. You're thinking of the difficult things. Your faith drops. You disregard the small thing that you can do today. You think of the big things. You unconsciously allow your faith to drop, and you don't do the small things today. The sage, in this context, acknowledges the big things that are difficult. Faith increases, does great things in the small tasks. This is absolute gold. What I'm sharing with you right now is absolute gold. The masses will acknowledge things are difficult and their faith will drop and they won't take action today. The master, or the ones who aspire to be masters of their life, acknowledge the difficult, elevate their faith, and they start planting and sowing seed today. I want to encourage you today. It's not hard. It's a simple step. It's a simple step. You can do it. He who thinks everything is easy will end up finding everything difficult. But you can acknowledge the difficult and begin with the great things. Let me just grab the quote here. Nip troubles in the bud, sow the great in the small. Sow the great in the small. The small is this moment. The small is, I like that. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to acknowledge that today. See, that's where your breakthrough is. It's right now. It's in your acknowledgement. It's in making a decision that things are going to be different. And I'm going to do the small things great. I'm going to have faith when I think of the difficult because my faith is attached. It's to my heart. It's to universe. It's to source. It's to creator. It's to my set of spiritual beliefs. You were wired to succeed. You were wired, and forget success. You were wired to thrive, whatever that looks like for you. You were wired to be who you are in this universe. You were wired for it. It's your birthright. And I'm just reminding you of what you already know. So how about that? So I'm going to give you 3 things that pull you away and pull you out of flow. And there's more work to be done, but we can do great things in the small. Today maybe is a seed for you. Today is maybe, oh my gosh, this is gold. I want to grab this. I want to use this. So here we go. 3 things. If you have a weak purpose or no purpose, you will feel force. You will feel like you're forcing things. Your energy will drain. Your faith will drop. If you're not working enough in your highest skill set, what's my highest skill set? It's your responsibility to know that. And if you don't know it, we can help you. Flashpoint is all about that. It's all about what is your highest skill set, because it's hard to have a breakthrough in your life if you don't know what your true highest skill set is. And even if you have an idea, we want to nail down what it is What is your highest skill set? And here's number 3, not recharging. Letting yourself drain and dwindle and just keep pouring into some other mission, somebody else, and you're not recharging. This will pull you into force. And I want you to be into flow. And if you want to just keep it simple today, it lights you up when you do it. Is it hiking? Is it coloring? Is it speaking? Is it just having a conversation with a loved one? Is it jumping in the car and going for a ride? Maybe you need an ice cream cone. Okay, all the health nuts are gone. What do you mean ice cream cone? But sometimes you might need just a treat. Some of you are treating yourself a little too much. Some of you are not treating yourself enough. Maybe you need a nice ice cream cone. Maybe you need to go get out and just go do some people watching. What elevates you? Go do something that elevates you, and then start to think about what are the little things that you can do great. Right in your space. What are the little things that you can do great? And just begin and go forward and move forward and press on, and you can do it. And this is part of Flashpoint. This is everything I'm discussing is a part of it. And I just want you to acknowledge this today. And this podcast will be uploaded. This live will be uploaded into the podcast. And just to give you a little bit of a booster today, this is my autobiography. I should say my biography, right? Yeah. Somebody will set me straight on that. But limiting beliefs will keep you stuck for decades if you don't wake up. And the way you can overcome limiting beliefs is that there's work to do. Does that make sense? Like, the limiting beliefs don't just vanish like as if, there's work for us to do. There's work for us to do. Yes, the plants grow, but we drop the seed. We tend to the weeds. We fertilize. And one of the things that I created was 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. And I'm going to share that link with you here because it's not a quick exercise, but it's an exercise you can start today. You can start to say, okay, I'm going to start to look at this, and maybe I need to see what's holding me back so I can get into doing the simple things great, so that I can increase my faith, so that I can intensify my purpose, so that I can truly know where my skill set is and how that might serve myself, my family, and the world at whole. Because the world needs you now. And I don't care how small you might think you are. It doesn't matter. You showing up and just being who you are from a heart-centered place. That's what the world needs. And how that shows up for you is different. It's different for everyone. It's different for you, but it's there for you. This is Flashpoint Friday. My name's Austin. So I want you to get into a state of flow today by keeping it simple. Get into this simple. Just start to do the simple things around you great. Feel good about it. Build up your faith and know that you can do it because you can. And if nobody ever told you that before, I want to tell you today, you can do it. You can do it. It starts with the small things. Don't avoid overlooking the small, simple things that you can do today. It's within your reach. You have the capability. You have the power. You are an incredible ball of intelligent energy that's in motion in this place, in this time and space. And as long as you're in motion, which means you're alive, there's something for you to do, and you can get into an effortless place. It doesn't mean you're not working hard. You are, but you're going to feel the effortless flow. And you know what happens? Time almost disappears. And I've experienced this. I just experienced this weekend. I was in Idaho, just got back from Boise, Idaho, and it's just a state of flow. It's just an absolute flow, and time seems to bend, twist. You don't know what time it is. It's a weird experience, but when you feel it, you know it, and you can create it, and it's time for you. This may not be a comeback thing. This may be a start fresh. I need to start fresh. I need to get in alignment with my heart's echo. What has my heart been, what's my heart been saying? What's it been saying to me that I've been ignoring? What's it saying to me that I've acknowledged, but I'm in a state of force because I'm thinking it's too hard. My faith drops and my emotions drop and I don't do the small things. I want you to think about the big things that are difficult. Increase your faith that it can happen, and then take the small steps today and do them great. Trust that this served you. Take action. Share it with somebody. I'm going to drop the link here for 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. And there's so much more to come. So let me ask you this. Do you want to create a breakthrough in your life? Do you want to break through and again, forget like come back and all this stuff. What about you just want to start fresh and you want to create a breakthrough in your life? Do you want that to happen? Give me a yes if you want that to happen. If you do, I want you to grab the link. I'm going to put it in here. 9 questions to identify and remove limiting beliefs. There's nothing to do other than click on it, name, email. You get a PDF in the email, and you may have to check your junk folder because that's what we have to do today. 9 questions to identify and remove the limiting beliefs are yours today. You can start now. So God bless you, everyone. This is Flashpoint Friday. My name is Austin. Spread the word. Your breakthrough starts right here. It starts right now, and it'll happen as quickly as your ability to accept that. Have a great Friday, great weekend, and I'll be at you soon, everyone. God bless.